Good morning, everyone. Salam alaikum. Welcome, everyone, to this meeting today. First of all, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Abdul Rashid, a registered nurse midwife. Also, I'm the CEO of Rashmira Consultant Healthcare Limited. We have been an establishment since about 3 years now, and we have a platform where we um, register all our clients, for those that need consult with us, those that want guidance and mentorship for them to travel, those that want to do training, maybe in healthcare, uh, caregivers, and every other training. So we also assist people, guide them in documentation, like you want to travel. We link you up. We are like an outsourcing company as well. We work with registered recruitment agency, both within Nigeria and outside Nigeria. We work for them. We help them to outsource clients that are ready to travel. And we also build the bridge between you and them to ensure that you don't fall into wrong hands. So we do a lot of sign of MOU agreements to ensure that whatever we're starting with them is something that can be fruitful and it will not become a total victim. I also want also know that traveling has steps, has process, and we can't promise what we can't do. In the process of traveling, um, we as the outsourcing or your consultant are not the ones that guarantee your final visa approval. We are here to ensure that all the necessary documentation arrangements that your employer or the embassy will need is brought together. And that does not guarantee you visa because the final report will be decided by the consular office in the embassy. Sometimes some people can be rejected from entering a country based on policies of that country, or also based on you as an individual. Probably your documentation they are nowhere falsified, like you post them, they are fake, or you have a criminal record that you didn't let us know. And I wanted to tell you that when you are applying to travel out of the country, they do a lot of investigation on you. Sometimes you can say, oh, I can manipulate, I can get some other things. These people are very fast, they are faster than you. You understand? You see some embassies that will tell you, we want to see you, want to interview you before we give you a visa. A lot happens. So even if they don't see you in person to interview you so that they can read your countenance, they can do that with your documentation, all the documents you presented. They will search for the truth of who you are. So some applicants come to us, they force their documents, they give us fake documents. They won't tell us, okay, I was denied some countries before, I did one crime or the other. And when they come to us, they lie. And when we submit application, there is rejection. Then you make it as if we are the cause of it. Yes, sometimes you might submit application, everything is okay, everything is well and everything and well packaged, but yet you will denied. We don't stop at that. Even when you are denied the first time, we still try as much as possible to reapply so that we could see where the fault is coming from. With our help, the help of our partners, they repackage you again to reapply. And if possible, lawyer is involved to now talk about your case with them. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that the fact that you started the process of traveling and you came through a consultant, you came through a consultant, then you expect the miracle to be done. Miracle is not done in that form because we will follow all the necessary steps and ensure that we have a success story for you. But if, on the other hand, the country that we've applied for and they are not trying to give us what we want for you, we can also have alternative country. It is there in the MOU you are going to be signing. We will try to get to apply to another country. We still the same within Europe if it is Europe, or within Middle East if it is Middle East. We will try to apply another job for you. So we have reform policies, and reform policies is never 100% because it is money they are using to process all the applications and also settle all the necessary things that need to be settled outside there, which are the logistics and services. So saying this, I'm trying to welcome everyone to know what traveling entails because some people don't really know what traveling entails. Some people will come to us and say, I want to be sponsored. We don't have sponsorship here, though there might be partial sponsorship that you might not see, which is there. And if there is discount, we let you know, okay, there is discount. Because sponsoring somebody out of the country, it is not cheap. And most people will not, or recruiters will not want to put their money into sponsoring people because sometimes it has happened that you sponsor people at the end of the day when they travel, it will be another story. It has happened to us severally. They will start giving you stories and you can't go and be arresting them there. So for that, we don't have sponsorship. If you don't have your money to travel, forget about it. So I want to encourage everyone this morning. We have our Europe HR that will be coming to say a lot of things about their company. I'm working with them as a partner to outsource for them to also help to put documentations together, sorry, here in Nigeria, so that it will be easier for them to do other jobs. Since I'm on ground here, I'll be able to help them organize other things that will make the job easy. So the countries they are actually applying for is Netherlands, which is number one. That is because we did a survey and we discovered a lot of people prefer Netherlands. So it's not that they don't have other countries, but most of the applications and clients that are requesting more for Netherlands. I think much because Netherlands is also have majority of English speaking people, so they prefer to go to Netherlands because it's easy for you to integrate. It's not that Netherlands don't have another language. They have Dutch. Dutch is their major language, but English is also largely spoken there. So we have Netherlands as our top destination because most people want that. Then there is Slovakia also on. We have Croatia on. We have Italy and Czech Republic. So those are the countries, basically, our Europe partners are having contracts to give employment, connect you to the law, to the employers to get your employment. So this process actually takes like 6 months for each batch because we start the application process. Then after the application process, getting your job permits, they will link you up to the employer. Employer will now proceed with your documents, submit it to the government in that country so that they can move forward to get your work permit and other supporting documents that you can take to the embassy for visa. And that process to get the work permit take precisely like 3 months, which is like 90 days for the work permit on that country for the government to approve. So it is a process. It's not that you come today and you're traveling tomorrow. So the first batch that have been on, some have been on since November, December. So they are joining the first batch, which will be leaving in June, July. The second batch that will be joining after this batch, because the process of this batch will stop on the 8th of June, which is on Monday. They won't put anybody on this first batch again because they need to proceed with all the necessary documentation. The other batch will be going from 8th of June. Anybody that is applying will be joining the second batch, which should be leaving by November, December. So this is how the plan is so that everything can be well organized. Why they are going in batch is because there's going to be something like an orientation for 45 days. You're going to be retrained in whatever position they have given you. Because once you submit your CV, they review your CV and look at what they think you can do with your experience. You don't need to be a graduate. It's just like you're working in a warehouse. That give you a barcode operator. Yeah, that you just have to stick barcode, monitor the barcode. They give you data entry. Maybe you are good with computer and the system. So those things, those products, you enter all the necessary information on the system. Then if they know you are not too good on that, they can give you on packaging. You do the packaging the goods in carton and arranging them on the shelf. Then you have some that will work in the kitchen for those that can cook or have experience in cooking. They can put you as a kitchen assistant. You work with your major tasks there. So for those that are not, they have been asking, the last meeting we had, I think we were replied that they don't have nothing job, but you can use this as a stepping stone to enter, do your exam while you are working, when you are doing their contract, get all your necessary documentation, because you can't use the Nigerian license to work in any country. You must do some exams and you must do some registrations. So when you are working there, you can now be doing your registration. You have enough money to help your family back home. You can bring in your family after 3 months. You have gotten your temporary resident permit. As you are there with your family, as you are doing your documentation and working, before you know, you've gotten all your papers. As your contract is ending, you can switch to your nursing or whatever professions that you intended doing in that country. Or Netherlands is a Schengen country. You can enter any other country with a job offer because they have 126 or so Schengen countries under Schengen. You have Switzerland, we have Poland, we have Finland, we have so many of them. You can go and read about it. So when you enter one of the Schengen countries, for those that will enter Netherlands, with your temporary resident permit, you can travel with train to any of the Schengen country you want to go. The 120 you can travel to anywhere once you're on vacation. But you are only allowed to stay there just for 90 days and return back to Netherlands, the Netherlands you are staying. Because you are not what will I say now? Except a job is taking you out, but on vacation you can only stay 90 days. So this brings us to the issue of what kind of services do we render? As I said, we are consulting company, we are sourcing company, we train caregivers, we train doulas. We also recently have an outlet for spa and beauty aesthetics for those that want to come for spouse. So we are waiting for she will join in a moment now. So she'll be taking us and telling us some other things that we need to know. But pending before she joins, if you have any question you want to ask, you can ask me so that I can answer while we wait for her to join. Let me give her a reminder. Send me card. This the when whom you covering. Is that what you mean?
I'm a Nicobian sister.
You said?
I cover my face.
Okay. That's what I'm trying to get. I think they don't have issues with it.
Hello.
They don't have issues with, but I will check on it and let you know. But I don't think they have issues with it because they have the Muslims are there, Christians are there,
Okay.
so I don't think they have that issue. But I will confirm because of their job policy to know if
Okay.
there is any how will I put it? If they will accept it.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Okay, she's joining in the next 5 minutes. So if you have other questions, please you can keep asking why she joined us. Please. Welcome everyone. I can see Mr. Sylvester. Welcome, sir.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Thank you.
I have a question.
Okay.
It's about this Netherlands. So my question goes this way. If you should make all these processes and every whole thing, when are you allowed to? Can you also bring in your family to the country?
Mm, okay. Are you done with your question?
Yeah, for now. For now.
Okay. Yeah. When it comes to dependent, you are allowed to bring in your dependent. That's dependent means your husband, your children under 18 years. If they are above 18, they are no longer your dependent. So, but you can do this only when you have spent at least 3 months in the country. They have, okay, HR have joined. We'll answer the question.
Yeah, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity to get more information and also express our concerns. I would like to ask the CSO they are giving to you that covers your family, can your spouse work full time? That's one. Two,
The first
if
question.
your spouse, can your spouse work full time elsewhere without being under their control?
Okay, you know what? HR is already here. She
Okay.
will answer the questions. Please just
Oh,
document it down.
all right. Thank you very much. I'll hold.
Welcome, HR Prayer. Welcome on
Hi,
board.
afternoon. Can you guys hear me?
Can hear you. Welcome. We see you now.
Right. Can you see me as well?
No.
No, you can't see me?
I can't.
Okay. But I am audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, let me just fix my internet and see how we can do about it.
We can see you. I was able to see her.
Yeah?
Yeah, I
You
can
can
see
see
you.
her.
Perfect.
I can see you.
Right.
Okay.
So
Okay, you
hi,
can
good
see her,
afternoon,
no
guys. How are
problem.
you? Hello, afternoon. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes,
Alright.
yes, we can
Hi,
hear you.
yes, thank you for having me, Rashmira. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. And I'm really grateful that I can speak to you And definitely, just a request to all of you, you might have a chat box. So for me, because whenever all of you unmute, it would be very hard for me to, listen and adhere to it. So any questions you have, you can put it in the chat box for me and, Rashmira to, and to, like read them through, and we will definitely be getting back to you on your questions. So, as for me and my company, I would like to say that we are a European HR company. We have our head offices in Poland, in Colombo, in Dubai, right? We are one of the partners with Rashmira Health, we are with them. She has sourced a lot of people from us, and we continue to have a great partnership with them. And yes, so other than that, from Africa to Europe, we do different countries like Netherlands, Poland, Slovakia, Czech Republic. The best benefit to apply with us is that, as I told, that we are a European country. It's a Polish-based company, Poland company. The lawyer is from Poland. The HR team is from Poland, right? Everything is done from Europe, which makes your chances of visa great, higher as compared to being done from any other part of the world. Because being a European immigration lawyer, a person who has stayed in Europe, they understand the systems, rules, and regulations. So that is what makes your chances of visa way, way, way higher, right? Other than that, our employer, the employer you're going to be with, they are going to provide you benefits like food, accommodation, transportation, on duty meals, TRC. What will TRC help you? TRC is going to help you bringing your family. Okay? If you are married, you can bring your wife, you can bring your husband, you can bring your children under the age of 18. You can sponsor them. Under the age of 18 children, free education, free medical from them. Yes, there was a question when I joined by someone. If you bring your spouse, okay, the spouse, be it husband, be it wife, they can work because they have an open work permit. You are contracted with a company, that is my employer, you are contracted with them, but your spouse, your husband, your wife can work anywhere they want because they are on dependent visa. Okay, they are on sponsored visa. The visa is sponsored by you once you have the TRC. Salary for different countries, different salary. For example, for Poland, the salary is somewhere around $1,600, $1,600 for Poland, around $2,500 for Netherlands. Best country if you have to choose on the basis of salary, if you want to, what do you say, uh, migrate with family, then the best option is to, uh, you know, start with it. To choose. I'm gonna take a question and session round now. So any of you who have questions, you can put it in the chat box and I'll start reading your questions and then we can just move forward with the questions. So I'm just gonna give you guys a minute to put in all your things.
So you can put on your questions on your chat box so that she can read and reply. Sorry, she's been very, very busy. I have to drag her out.
Right, I am looking at the chat box right now. Thank you, Philip. how many months does the process takes before traveling, and what is the cost implication? Is it the company that sponsors everything? Right. The process timing is around 3 to 5 months. But sometimes, you understand what all is going on in the in the Middle East right now, Iran, Iraq, and what all is happening in Middle East. Sometimes, because of that, the process, these kind of situations, no one can control and predict. 3 months back, when our applicants who started in November, December, we didn't know that this is going to happen in the start of 2026. So sometimes the process can be a little bit stretched, because at the moment no government office in Dubai or a lot of places is not working, but the usual timeline remains between 3 to 6 months. The cost for it, so you have to get in touch with the beautiful lady out there. She is going to explain you everything in detail. Okay. Other than that, employer does not sponsor you 100%. Please understand that. So there is a cost that is involved in it, which of course Rashmira would be helping you out with. Okay. What's the name of your company and what's the option? So for me, again, for the company name and everything, please, you have to get in touch with the lady here. For prizes, you have to get in touch with her. Good morning. I've learned that those on the first batch are currently enjoying discount. Those applying for second, can you enjoy the no, how many percent does it take for visa? Any country in Europe you choose, 3 to 5 months. But sometimes the process can be 15, 20 days here and there, considering what all happens in the situations. Okay, you have to understand this. So you have to be flexible till 6 months at least. Other than that, cost involved, you have to refer the lady. She is gonna help you with that. Other than that, what is the company name, what exactly, she is going to tell you everything in detail. Coming to the fact that there was one question here, let me see. Yeah. Does company deduct from your salary for accommodation? No, the company does not deduct anything, because in Europe there's a rule that if a company is employing you, they will give you. If based on our qualifications and experiences, other organizations in the country where we are employed seeks the services, would we be, based on the contract, allowed to take the offer? Sylvester, honestly, I'm not understanding your question. What exactly are you trying to say? How much money do you need? Anything that is related to money, please get in touch with her. No, major job sector is warehouse. Okay? Warehouse is the major job sector. Logistics, packing, sorting, labeling, data entry, barcode operators, drivers. Of course, taxes would be deducted. Please understand that there are taxes is involved in Europe. That is the reason you enjoy free medical, free healthcare, everything free. Okay? You should be over 18. What is the criteria? More age over 18, no criminal record, at least high school, at least preferred, not at least, like not important, but preferred at least 1 year of experience. What are the taxes, please? The taxes range somewhere between 23 to 25%. And also depends upon what tax bracket you are. If applied for healthcare assistant job in the month of March, when will tax percentage, as explained, 23 to 25%. Uh, Anyone, Bonnie raised your hand, but I would love if you could just put into chat box. Directly, you cannot apply as healthcare assistant in Europe. Why you cannot apply? Because once you go there, you have to take a diploma or a certificate in Europe, because their medicines, their, because in healthcare sector you have to be more interactive towards the client, towards the person, towards the patient. Understand this. But if you cannot speak the language, how will you be communicating with them? Right? So language is very much important. So you go on this basic job, get your TRC, learn a language, get a certificate, because you have to get certified from that particular country to operate as a nurse, as a healthcare assistant, whatever it is. They should be permitting you. Other than that, okay, so will there be jobs? As I told you, the only jobs that we do is hospital, warehouse logistics. Can someone get to know and see the contract? See, it's a very basic contract. If you're talking about the contracts and everything, it's a basic general contract that we show to all our applicants, be it any part of the world. Because for us, we are hiring from all over the world, be it Nepal, India, Pakistan, US, Germany. So, yeah, just a basic contract where you claim that you are providing us all the information. Can someone get to know, is it the job position that allow you to bring your dependents? Yes, because unlike US or Australia, it's very different. You have to understand. So there's no particular thing that you need to be in this job to bring your spouse. The only condition in Europe as of now is to have a TRC. If you have the temporary resident card, you can sponsor them, bring them. So, Rashmira, do you want me to highlight any specific area? I think mostly the questions have been answered. So, any specific area that you want me to highlight?
Okay. Someone asked earlier. She is a
Mm-hmm.
Muslim, and she's talking about she wears niqab. Is she allowed to wear niqab when she goes to work? This
I'm so sorry, I didn't get
covering,
you.
covering. She's a
Okay.
Muslim, and can she
Okay.
wear her covering while going to
Mm-hmm.
work?
Yeah, she can, of course. There's no problem. Of course, specifically when it comes to Netherlands, Netherlands is more liberal country as compared to Poland. So for me, if you think this is the case, it should not be, because every part of the world we have Islam, and a lot of majority of the people are following Islam, and it should not be a problem. But if that person is a little bit in apprehension, the best choice for them would be to choose Netherlands, as it is a more multicultural country as compared to Poland, Slovakia, and Czech Republic. Because in Netherlands, a lot of people have started going for student visas, due to which a multicultural exposure is a lot of there. So, answering your question, not a problem. What is the success ratio? You must have past experience before applying for managerial positions. Yes, for managerial positions, experience is must. At least for 2 years. At least for 2 years. It's must. So you need to have maybe not in the same field, but at least 2 years of supervision, team leader, a bit high profile experience to qualify as a managerial position. About the success ratio, see, there's no term called success ratio. Let me be very much clear. Okay, this is just a thing that we create in the minds of people. So, what all exactly happens is that when you're putting a file, okay, there's a wave in the country that even if you put 100 files, 100 will be. So, there's never a 100% successful ratio for any agent in this world. There are some situations where you put 10 files, 10 of them, 10 get visa. There are situations when you put 10 files, only 5 get visa. So it's just totally depend upon how the wave of the country at that moment is. Okay, you have to understand that. For instance, let's take an example of Dubai. Okay, no one thought 6 months, 1 year ago that Dubai, which is such a small country, and most of the economy survives on tourism and oil. Tourist visas are blocked for a lot of countries. For Pakistan, tourist visas are blocked, and it's just tourist visa. So a country and the success ratio totally depends upon what kind, the right time. You should know the right time when to apply. That is why in the last meeting also I told, and now also I'm going to tell before leaving, it is always better to apply your profile before the rules change. And usually around 5-6 months You know what's happening in UK. 4 years back, UK was so open. Even if you have not even passed your 10th or high school, they were giving you visas because that country was in need of economy. That country was in need of money, and they literally gave visas to everyone. But when the money and all that part was completed, what they did is they just banned everything. From 5 years, it's 15 to 30 years now. So a lot of things are changing. Even in the last meeting, I said, so you don't know what the country can do, even in one day, the immigration rules of the country. So if you are serious candidates, you want to move out soon, considering the situations that are happening in the world, and you want to move out quick, you have to take decisions. And it's always better to join, to register, to put your file in the system of the government before the rules change. Because 99% of the time, when the rules are changed, if you're already into the government system before the rule change date, your file is not affected by it. As a registered nurse, I already told you directly you cannot apply. English is basic. Yes, you would need that. But directly registered nurse, you cannot. Additional job, Sylvester, it would be like, you have to manage it. You have to complete your contracted hours and you have to manage. See, again, like Sylvester, you asked, language is, of course, important. That's the reason you cannot apply as doctors, teachers, healthcare assistants. The kind of jobs we do, barcode operators, data entries, there's no communication involved. You have to understand that with the people. It's more like, you're just doing your job. And the only basic language you would need is when you go to a supermarket, you go to a mall or something. So that is the reason we can hire you in this quota, that we do not read the required language. All right, thank you guys. I would now cut this meeting short. It was great having you all. I think I have, clarified all your doubts. Again, someone asked me, is the discount for first batch only? A second batch, as of now, there's no discount for the management, but still we've got few days left for the first batch hiring. You can still sign up for the first batch with Rashmira. She's gonna help you out. She's gonna clear all your doubts. If anyone wants to speak to me on one-on-one conversation, we can do that as well. It's completely fine. We can do a personal one-on-one session for you. Any official emails to contact with you, my contact point is her. Okay, she is one of our, any country, Halima, I don't know if I'm not able to make you understand. Any European country, you cannot apply directly as a doctor, as a healthcare. Not even in Spain, not even in Germany, not even in Netherlands. All right. All right. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a great day. It was great seeing you. Have a great day. Bye bye. Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. I believe most of our questions have been answered.
Yeah, please,
So if you have other questions
Rashmira,
you can
kindly,
actually ask before
kindly
we
answer my
call it a day.
question. How much is it, Netherlands?
That's a private chat. You chat me up. We don't discuss price generally.
Okay, all right.
Hello, ma. Is there any other way to bring in dependents, or there is a particular period of time that one will be allowed to bring in dependents if one
Okay.
is ready to come?
Yeah. On the dependent issue, I want you to understand that as you're going through the company, they're going to provide you an accommodation that will be shared with other staff. It's not going to be only you, just as they do in the Middle East. But while you are there, the company will apply for you to get your temporary residence permit. That is when you can have the document to apply for your family to join you. And before then, at least you should be able to prove you can take care of your family. When it comes to feeding, they know the specific amount of money that should be spent for a specific amount, a specific number of family. They know it. So when you get into the system, you're going to know all these things. So you make your calculations because you're supposed to submit documents based on this. They don't want you to bring your family in and they will be struggling. Then you know you're going to rent an apartment. You're going to leave a company apartment. So you should be ready for that. Though they are going to give you allowance, since you are not going to be staying in their accommodation, they will going to give you equivalent of that allowance. You'll go and rent. You can add money to rent whatever accommodation that will contain your family. Is your question answered?
Yes, perfectly. Thank you.
Um, well, for that, Mr. Sylvester,
Hello, ma'am.
the document
Hello,
you need,
ma'am.
can you
Hello,
Hello,
ma'am.
ask
ma'am.
me up? I will let you know about that.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Please, ma'am, I want to ask about the accommodation. Hope they are not mixing the two gender together in one places.
It's never allowed in Europe, even if they are children.
Okay.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, please.
At the same time, I still need to ask question on accommodation of the thing. You've never seen somebody being there
Okay.
before? Good. Do you know, can we have the idea of the nature of the place? Because some people say the whole place will be jumped up like 4, 10 people, like 10, 20 people in a room.
We
So
are not
I
talking
don't know.
about the Middle East here. We are talking about Europe, and these people are investigated. They don't play with accommodation. The accommodation they made us to understand is like a flat. I can share the picture. Three people are renting. I think like I don't know how many rooms are inside, but like an apartment, three people will be there.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
I won't mind to see the nature of the sample of the place.
Yeah, I will send this message to them so they can send us in and out pictures of the accommodation.
Thank you, ma'am.
But they have sent us how the outside looks, but we have not seen the inside. If there are any more questions, I'll be waiting to answer.
Hello, ma'am. Good
Yes,
morning, ma'am.
please.
My name is Osman Abdullah. My question is concerning the payment for the salary. I don't know how much percentage are they taking as per tax. You know, normally in Europe, if they pay you salary, they deduct some of their money. They say it's a tax. I don't know how much are they going to tax as percentage. Whether if they give me 100 pound, how much is the tax I'm going to pay under 100 pound? How much percentage? Thank you.
Okay, on that, actually, what they pay is per hour is 15.50 euro, and you are entitled to overtime, and your working hours is 8 hours daily. So I think the government have a way they calculate tax, but I think you're still going to save more since you are not paying for accommodation, you are not paying for transportation. You also be given meal at work, at least a meal. I think you're still going to save more. I don't think your tax is going to take everything, because if they provide accommodation for you, definitely they're going to provide gas for cooking and the rest. So you know you're still going to save much. But to do the calculation of your salary, an hour is 15 euro 50 cents. Calculate it times 8 hours. If it's only 8 hours you can work, because that is the minimum hours you can work. Then if you have the strength to work extra hours over time, you will pay extra hours over time. Then if you have the strength to work on holidays, I think you'll be paid almost double of the money on holiday. But one good thing, your children, those in school, the government school is free education for primary and secondary school. And Netherlands has a very equipped educational system. You can go and read that up. They have one of the best universities and school systems, and they are taught in English, even if it's a Dutch country. And majorly, English is spoken in Netherlands. But for you, on the professional side, like that of the nurses and the doctors and other healthcare and some other jobs that need you to have one-on-one contact with people and communication, you need to be able to do their language test as one of the requirements to get your license to practice. And you have to pass that language test for you to be licensed to work there. And also, when you want to apply for citizenship, maybe after 5 years or so, I think, you read that up. You are also to do a language test as one of the requirements to be given citizenship. But first, you start with temporary residence permit, then you proceed, I think, after 5 years to permanent residence permit. Then from there, you start preparing for your residency, for your citizenship, sorry. Just
Okay,
take minutes to answer some of your
I have a
questions.
question.
Yeah.
For this apartment you mentioned, is it like a bunky kind of settings?
Well, I told you just now, they sent a picture of their accommodation. The last time she was here to talk to us, she said 3 people in the house. So I don't know how the house looks like inside, but I'm going to ask the question to know the how will I say now, the rooms in the house and how many people in the room or how many people in the house. So I believe I will get detailed answer. and I will say,
Okay, so my second question is this: what are the credentials that will enable you for this Netherlands? And as you are going under a company, can you also do other jobs outside the job that brought you to the country? Can you also work outside the jobs?
okay, let's take it this way. An employer is bringing you in, though, this, we can always have a soft landing in Europe. In the Middle East, this is never, never, never allowed. Once an employer brings you in, you are not on freelance visa. They're the one that apply for your work, government permits and everything. Then you will be regulated on how you do your personal stuff. So you cannot just enter and that very moment you will not say you want to go and look for another job. You understand? But I believe you have 8 hours to work. You can do your other personal things if you have a company that will take you as a part-time worker with your other hours. You can go to school, but remember, when you are going to school, your hours of work will be shortened. I don't know whether I've answered your question
Yeah, yeah. Fine.
because they believe you you can't over. They also watch you. They don't want you to be exhausted. So whatever you do, you are being monitored. You understand? If they ask you to work for 40 hours and you're working above 40 hours, it will be explained. So if you are doing overtime, the company has a way of writing them to let them know that they have short staff. That is why you are able to put you for overtime. So it's not something that is not regulated. Whatever you do in the Europe country is regulated, except those jobs are not regular jobs. They are just a one-man job. It's not documented. You just walk in and walk out, or your personal business. If you have your personal business in your backyard of your house, nobody's going to ask you how many hours you work for. Or you have one of your people that want somebody to just work for them and they will pay you not through the bank, cash on your hand. It's not regulated. So you can work there. But one thing I keep telling people, you can't know everything about a country until you go in. You will meet with people. You will see how the system goes. Understand? But put in mind that when you go to Europe, you have a lot of benefits to integrate and to develop in your career. You are allowed. If you said you want to go to school and you got an admission, yes, you'll be allowed. But it still has to be something that it will be documented under the government that you are a student to social time. And the number of work you'll be doing at that time will be regulated.
Okay, so you've not answered about the credentials needed. And my last question is this: for those that want to go for November, December, when can they start their what's it called process?
For those going for November, December, you're starting the process this March. Once you make your initial deposit and submit your document, you'll be added to the list. That is why we're ending the first batch by on the 8th of March. Because the process takes like 6 months. Yeah.
So what are the credentials needed for this whole process?
Credentials needed is most especially your CV, your international passport database. You also get a studio kind of visa passport. You go to a studio, they give you studio passport, not the one you take at the backyard with those red. No, this one they will use bright light and give you a studio passport. So when you submit your CV, the HR team are going to review your CV and will not decide the job placement position that you are fit for. So when they send us that, we send it to you. If it's okay with you, then we proceed. Someone is asking here if you're entitled to annual leave. Yes, everybody is entitled to annual leave vacation. If the contract is 3 years, especially in Netherlands is 3 years, you can come home every year. I think they give you like 30 days or so to come home, see your family, then come back to work. And I think it's paid vacation.
Ma, please, who will now pay for the flight tickets when
The
you're on
passport
vacation?
contains, I said it's a paid vacation. They can give you the bonus of vacation and you pay for your flight
Okay.
because not everybody wants to go for vacation. Some people don't want to go for vacation. They can still use their vacation to work. So if you want to go for vacation, you let the company know this is the time. I think they have a time they will ask if you know you are going for vacation this year, submit your application. Then they know how much they are paying out for those going for vacation that year.
Okay, so sorry, how many years
But
is
on
the
this, I'm going to ask more questions on this.
so this Netherlands, how many years is the is it the I don't know, is it the
Three
work
years
visa?
contract.
Okay, 3 years contract. After
Yeah,
that three, you come back
renewable
to
after 3 years. But if you don't want to continue, you must ensure you've gotten something you want to switch to or you want to return back.
oh, okay. Okay.
Please, ma.
Yeah, I'm hearing.
Okay, please, ma. I want to ask if because I joined late, please. I want to ask the type of jobs that um the one could apply for the Netherlands.
Okay. As I said, and also she said, this is a warehouse, logistic. Under that warehouse and logistic and factory, you can either be a barcode operator, people that produce barcode for the cartons, for the stickers, you will be able to generate barcode. They will train you. There is a 45-day training program for everybody that is going. That's why they are going in batches. When you get into the country, 45 first 45 days you land there, you will be oriented. You'll be in orientation camp, going there as if you are going to work, but all of you will be trained to ensure you are competent to carry out the job. So whatever position they are giving you, either the barcode operator, data entry, which you at least you know some basic computer skills, or you are under the packing and repackaging, storage. Then if you are a good cook, maybe you work under the kitchen, kitchen assistant. So those are the kind of jobs that are there. Then we have drivers, people that can drive forklifts, that will be working in the warehouse, lifting goods from one place to the other. Yeah, those are the kind of jobs.
Okay, ma, and also the processing fee. Can you please analyze
Yeah, as I
so that we
said,
can know?
processing fee is something we discuss individual. Contact me on my number. I've sent it before.
Okay.
Sorry, ma. I
Okay,
want.
on the annual leave means that at least you would have spent up to 1 year, then you can go for your leave. That means if you resume in July, at least after July, you can go for your leave. But I will ask more details on this if you can go for your leave within the 1 year of your resumption, or is after the 1 year of your resumption.
Sorry, ma. For the family, is there any restricted number of children?
Um, there is no restriction on number of your children you are going to bring, but the restriction there is the children should be under 18 years and you should be financially able to ensure you feed them. So government is going to ask you for your pay slip, your bank account to ensure you are not bringing children and you can't feed. Europe are very, very, very strict with that. Your children must have the basic things they need. When I was in Ireland, the social welfare used to visit each home unexpected. Once they come in, they ask you to open your gloves laundry store for your children. They want to see what you have there. Your fridges, they want to see what you have to ensure your children are not starving. So you must be able to feed your children. It's not like Nigeria where you give the child by in the morning, by in the night. They monitor the feeding of your children. Even in school, they monitor the feeding of your children. So you must be ready to feed them.
So what I want to ask for you bringing in your dependent, is it the company that is funding it or you're the one funding it? Like let me say you're bringing in only your husband. For those of us that don't have kids, here, is it the company that is funding that movement, or you are the one that will fund it?
You are the one funding your dependent. The company can only help you for their documentation to bring in that you are working with them and you want your dependent to get. They will give you documents for you to submit to the embassy. Your money aspects, you will pay for it. Need to stop it. Let's say your husband is coming as your dependent. The company is going to give you documents, but you must have submitted your marriage certificate to the company to ensure that you are really legally married. You're not just bringing somebody, a random person as your husband. So they must be sure that you are legally married to that person by showing your marriage certificate. If you don't have a marriage certificate, the government will not allow you to bring in any random person as your husband. Then you should be able to pay for visa fee, pay for his flight ticket, or he pays for it. The only thing your employer will do for you is to give you documents that you are their staff and you want to bring in your husband. And you have to submit the legal document that that person is really your husband. Also, with your children, you have to submit legal documents that this child is your child or your children. I hope that is answered.
Yeah.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm here.
Please, if you have an older child siblings,
Mm.
they can still do visitation.
Yes, if your child is more than 18 years, because the government will not grant any child above 18 years to be under you as your dependent. It is generally in Europe. Any child above 18 years is now an adult and can stand for themselves. So your child can come and visit you because you are the one to be giving the invitation letter to the child. Or you can also put the child into the working route so he can have a job and join you. Because after 18 years, once a child is 18 years, he can work legally in Europe.
Thank you, ma'am.
Or another thing, you apply for a school if you can afford it. The child comes in as a student. But anyone below 18 years will come through you. Because once you are submitting your visa application, you are going to list the number of your children, your husband. You are going to, from the beginning, you are going to write them down. So when it is time to apply for them, the consular office will go back to your application. Is that correct?
I'm okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So what I normally advise the nurses, because majorly of us are nurses and healthcare practitioners, you don't look at this out as if I can't do this job. Recently, I watched a TikTok post of a medical doctor. He has been in Ireland and he was working in the warehouse. While working in the warehouse, he started doing all his necessary exam, documentation, language, because you have to pass their language. I think it's level A or level B. You have to get the score to pass the language test. You can read up. So he did all those things and he passed through. He was even, because he's now in a manager position, he was thinking, why don't I just continue with this job? It's much easier. You got no litigation, no stress, somebody is dying, running up and down, no matter what you do, they say you didn't do it well. So this one is dealing with staff, telling them this is how I want it to be, this is how this thing should be, then document. And he's feeling good with the job. So it gets the level on the job, you begin to grow. People are coming under you. You begin to train people. You begin to go to manager position. You begin some online courses. Europe is not like Nigeria, you must be in class. You can do online courses and they are recognized and they can use it to upgrade you. So you will not remain on the ground forever because those are people that are going now are going to meet people there. They're already there. It will get to a level, they will step those people up and you come below them. Then get to the level, they step you up, people, so they grow in this warehouse place. All right. I don't know if we have other, we don't have any other questions. Maybe we'll call it a day.
But if we still have other ones, we can always make a call through to you, ma.
Yes, I sent my number there. So there's other
Thank you.
questions if that is not clear, I'll give feedback. But I wish people are in the platform. So whenever we get feedback, reply for all these questions, we just arrange them and send it to the platform. Everybody will read about. All right. Thank you everyone for coming. I really appreciate your time. I hope you have learned one or two things. Have a nice day today and bye bye.